Giving birth to premature babies is quite normal. In fact, 15 million premature babies are born worldwide every year, according to the World Health Organization. Compared to mature babies, preterm babies are weaker and more easily prone to health complications. However, scientific advancements have made it possible for preterm babies to be nursed into healthy, normal adults, even in developing countries like Ghana. This baby was born a few minutes after my arrival at the neonatal intensive care unit of the Bolgatanga Hospital. He was born after 32 weeks in the womb instead of the normal 37 completed weeks. I observed healthcare staff as they took the baby through the very first medical steps to keeping him safe and healthy. Mahamadou Dokurugu is a pediatric nurse.
What we are doing now is to ensure that baby doesn't suffer hypothermia, that is low temperature. So we are nursing the baby under a radiant warmer. In doing that, we check the airway too to see whether there are secretions inside. If there are any secretions, we suction both mouth and nose. And then we clean the baby to ensure that baby is well dried, and we wear baby's diapers. Now what we'll do after our assessment will be to pass a line and take blood and do lab test. The lab test will tell us what is the problem with the baby now. The other things we'll do is we'll take sample for culture and sensitivity. That culture will tell us the organisms that are in the baby's system and the drug that we can use to take care of that.
Mothers of preterm babies must play a role to ensure their babies survive. One major healthcare procedure mothers and even fathers of preterm babies are taken through is the kangaroo mother care, a process in which the baby is placed in the bosom of either parent and wrapped with a cloth so as to help regulate the baby's body temperature.
It's just like mother backing the baby in the house like we are doing. But this one, we have made it in a way that it's a backing bed in front, and you shouldn't wear a dress before you put the baby. As at the time the preterm was born, he should still be in the uterus of the mother, where he will receive warmth from the mother, and it's the mother temperature that the baby too will be benefiting. But as baby is out, he's now exposed to the open environment and the external environment, and he's supposed to now maintain his own body temperature. At that time, most of the organs are not matured. The skin is not matured. That's the barrier, the first barrier. So it looks very light. As a result, it's easy for the fluid to escape. And as the fluid is escaping from the baby's bodies, it always also goes with the heat. So the baby is prone to lose more heat. So to ensure that those babies do not suffer low temperature that can result to their death, if baby is stable, what we are seeing the mother doing is what we call KMC. The KMC simply means kangaroo mother care.
So, how come there are issues of stigma against preterm babies and their parents in some communities, despite the contributions of medical advancements to the survival of these babies? Jauharatu Amadou works with the Rural Initiatives for Self-Empowerment, RISE Ghana, a local NGO based in the Upper East region. She is in charge of a project called the Mother-Baby Friendly Health Facility Initiative. The aim of the project is mainly to promote the well-being of mothers and their unborn or newborn babies. Therefore, she often goes to rural communities to organize advocacy talks.
Even when you go through our antenatal care unit, we always prepare our mothers towards giving birth at 9 months, forgetting that or not consciously remembering that some women give birth before 9 months. So awareness on how women should prepare themselves that they can give birth before 9 months is not usually discussed at our homes and in our communities.
Jauharatu says the issue of strange beliefs and stigma against preterm babies boil down to widespread ignorance and the lack of education in some communities.
In the communities that we engage, usually men that have their wives give birth to this type of babies, there are some men who abandon the mothers, usually even if the mother is at NICU. They say that the baby is a spirit child. Some would tell you that I went and saw my baby, the baby looks like a lizard, it's not my baby. Or is it the fact that the woman has gone behind the husband and got pregnant, and so she's giving birth to this type of baby, and so it's a punishment to the mother? So we have families who abandon these mothers, families who abandon the baby. The mother can definitely not run away from the baby, so they abandon the baby and the mother.
All the parents interviewed in this documentary faced similar challenges. These are high expenses and strict medical precautions they had to follow without fail.
I used to take a week's salary and it was okay. I'm a carpenter, all right. And the pay was okay to me. And I used to do some petty jobs too outside. So I used to get money. I am used to the old currency. Yes, I'm used to the old currency. 30 million. 3,000. 3,000. I gave 3,000 to the doctor for some taps, for medicines. And in hand, in bulk, I was having 150 million in hand, cash. It was all pumped into that baby.
Perhaps the challenges of cost and the long periods of time often spent taking care of premature babies in hospitals also go a long way to fuel the traditional belief that these babies are some sort of strange spirits sent as a punishment to the parents. Nab Senrik Sobil IV is the chief of Pelungu in the Nabdam district of the Upper East region. He explains this notion based on his experience as a traditional leader.
When some of these things happen, there are some parents look at your child like this and accept that he's not a normal child. It's always difficult. So some even take it upon themselves to run around, mobilize resources, go around everywhere looking for money and other resources to take care of them. When things like that happen, others even see it as punishment, that normal children are born without this type of situation. So if you have such a child and you are running around to see how you can get this child treated, they will look at it as it is spiritual punishment on you yourself as a parent. So it demoralizes you, it makes you so uncomfortable, and you also consider that even if this child is gone, it's better than even running around and people are making like mockery at you. You are running around, this spiritual child is bringing spiritual hardships on you and your family.
However, there is enough evidence to show that babies who are born prematurely can go on to live normal, healthy lives. Gifty Berry, for instance, despite being born after 7 months of her mother's pregnancy, has gone on to become a fashion designer and is living a normal, healthy, and happy life with her family.
Those believe people have about preterm children are not. It's not right, because we are just normal like any other child. Yeah. And then we are hardworking too.
Meet Lizzie Akaoba. She lives here in Bolgatanga and works in a bank. Lizzie was also born preterm. She says she never faced any health challenges as a child, neither did she ever feel different from other children in any way.
I didn't have any challenges, like falling sick and the rest. I was just okay throughout. I think we are all the same. Looking at a 9-month baby and a 7-month baby, there is no difference between us. I actually picked up the way they were also picking up, and the competition in the class, I think I was part of, even if it's not the best, but the good.
Now 26 years old, Lizzie is married with a son and is enjoying a happy family life. Her mother says, except for having to stick to the strict medical precautions she was given, she did not face any other challenges raising Lizzie as a child.
the handling of her diet and everything is different from the other person. Well, if you don't stick to what the hospital is telling you, you will have problems. But when they tell you to do this, and you go through, I don't think you have any big challenge. The nurses that was there, when they see me, then they say, oh, premise mother. But when we went home and came and they saw her, they were happy. So I didn't go through that stigma.
For Lydia, the single mother in Sandema we met earlier, she may have faced some challenges raising her preterm son, but she is happier now because the boy is now 7 years old and has become a bright, cheerful boy whose presence simply warms her heart.
Oh, I can see my boy will be something great because, you know, somebody dashed him 10 cedi. And I said, oh, she gave me 5. She gave the 5 cedi and put the 5 cedi on top of my mirror. The other day, the grandmother came, gave him 5 cedi put. They said they should pay PTA meeting. The boy took the 10 cedi and went and paid. When I came, he told me that, Mama, you said you don't have money, so I've taken my money and went and paid the PTA meeting. And if I said you should sit here, he will sit here until evening and listen to me.
Agane's daughter, Amanda, has become the apple of his eye.
And I'm very, very happy that she's living. Yes, and now, by His grace, if you send her, she can also farm with me, do things with me. As I'm a farmer in this house, she used to help me in farming. Sometimes, if I'm taking my food here and turn my back and see that she's also taking my food, I become happy. I'm very proud of her now. I know